Game 6 of the Canada-Soviet Series, live from Moscow. Brought to you by Toronto Dominion Bank, the bank where people make the difference. By Gulf Oil Canada Limited, its dealers, agents, and distributors across Canada. By Carling O'Keefe, brewers of O'Keefe Ale and Old Vienna Lager Beer.
We are experiencing sound trouble, which will be corrected momentarily.
Maxie, that picture really brings back memories. Did you ever play hockey outdoors when you were a kid?
Yeah, and I played goal for the Barber College, too.
You remember what it was like? Feet freezing. Build your own rink. Don't shoot the puck into the corners because you'll lose it in the snow. The best player on our street was a girl. She was the biggest player, too. Hockey sure has changed. And Sport O'Keefe is happy to be participating in this great Russia-Canada series. Enjoy the game.
We are experiencing sound trouble, which will be corrected momentarily. We are experiencing sound trouble, which will be corrected momentarily. are experiencing sound trouble which will be corrected momentarily. We are experiencing sound trouble which will be corrected momentarily. We are experiencing sound trouble which will be corrected momentarily.
Canada is an energy-rich country that consumes over 45,000 gallons of oil every minute, over 63 million gallons every single day. And if we continue using oil at this rate without finding new sources, we'll be into a critical supply shortage in 10 to 15 years. We have to find more. This year, Gulf Canada will spend more than $110 million finding and developing new energy sources. It's an expensive proposition, a proposition that no industry could afford to make unless they knew they would be free to earn a reasonable return on the investment. To do that, we need government cooperation and your understanding. Because Gulf is confident the reserves are there, enough to meet our needs for generations to come. But we can't wait until the last minute. We have to invest the time and money now.
We are experiencing sound trouble, which will be corrected momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing extreme audio difficulties from Moscow. We are trying to get this problem remedied and rectified. In the meantime, CTV will continue with the video portion of the game. The score presently is Russia 2, Canada 1. The Canadian goal scored by Serge Bernier. The second goal for Russia scored by Vasiliev. That'll bring up to date with what's going on so far. The score, Russia 2, Canada 1. We are experiencing audio difficulties from Moscow. We are trying to get it rectified. In the meantime, We'll continue with the video portion of the game and hope you'll please stand by.
Some pass to center right to Bernier, but it wouldn't get through. Here's Jacqueshev bumping in there along with Houle, and they start shoving. The sticks come up, but the referee, Dombrowski, comes over very quickly, takes a look, and he doesn't call any penalty.
Watch this pitching save. Bernier had the whole net. There's no way. And he should have missed it. That pitching shadowed that left leg unbelievably fast. What a save.
Well, they're glad that we're able to finally get our audio lines connected through to Canada. And you can see what was happening, but we're sorry that the audio was not there for you. Here comes Frank Mahovlich racing down into the Soviet territory, trying to lay that pass out. It comes all the way back to the blue line, and back after it goes Howe. Back on the fence with J.C. Trombley. Trombley feeds it to the line and all the way out to center right. Back after it for the Soviets is number 32, Yuri Turin. Over to Gusev, and Gusev hooks it out to center right to Anison, number 22. Anison gets by Howe, and then it's hooked out here to Henderson with Mahovlich. Mahovlich trying to get by the line. Still has it. Puts it on his butt to shoot. Oh, Paul Anderson stand on the buck that was bouncing. Here's his out to the blue line. Malstead taking down the left side. One man back. Right out in front. And number 18, Yurichelov. And the shot was blocked down there by the Canadian defense there as Trombley comes roaring right back with Bruce McGregor. McGregor at the blue line. He puts that pass right over in front of the net. And the shot is blocked by the goalkeeper as McGregor is knocked down in front of the net. And Malstead comes racing back on the left wing. Malstead, number 10, shoots. Blocked by Jerry Peters, and he grabs it to hold on.
Developing into just a great two-way, freewheeling, wide-open hockey game, Johnny. The Russians are getting the better break 2-on-1 and 3-on-2 and 1-on-1. Each Canada had more good scoring opportunities in the first period, and I think they had more last week.
On the shot, right by the goalpost, it comes over to Vasiliev. It's poke checked away from him by Paul Smear, but it's held in by Petrov. Petrov is bumped. It's taken by Smear, out to center right, but the pass would not go across by Bobby Hull. Soviets lining up at their own line. This is Mihailov, number 13. They took that big, wide use of the ice to set up that passing combination. This is Ricky Smith. Shot is knocked down. McKenzie bucks into Gusev. And the puck slides down into Canadian territory. And the referee, Canadian linesman, Zagrod, calls the icing. Coach for Skalagan. Anybody that is more passive than Billy Harris would have to be the Soviet coach for Skalagan. On the face-off, there's a shot. Johnny McKenzie hit a stick and it bounced high in the air. Mihailov racing back down the right side. Trying to get in front of that net. They do. They turn out of it. They block the shot. And then Petrov missed. Halfway mark of the first period. Getting up into the Soviet Union. Back out at center ice, it's Petrov. Petrov back to the line. All the way back to number 2, Alexander Gusev. Gusev. His pass to Petrov. Does not quite get through. Here goes he hits the goalpost. Arlamov on a backhand shot. Hits the goalpost. Here it is to the side of the net again. It's Rick Smith trying to tie him up. It's around the boards to Vasiliev. Vasiliev back inside the Canadian zone as Cheevers blocks the back of the net. Now Paul Spear trying to come out with it. Long pass. Taken down the left side by Bobby Hull. Bobby Hull fakes the shot. He's kind of rushed into the boards. And play carries right on as Petrov holds the puck against the boards and gets the whistle on the play.
Look at of this Harleman-off, and every time you look up, the little fellow's got the puck, and forcing Team Canada to come up with some great plays. It's beginning to look like the Russian skating ability and their pinpoint passing is starting to take control of the game. At least it's given them many good scoring opportunities.
Back to the blue line now as it gets set for Ricky Lee. He shoots, and that's deflected wide as Gordie Howe tried to poke it to the corner of the net, and he poked it too wide. There's Backstrom fighting for the puck as it's taken back to the blue line by Stapleton. That hit a leg and comes all the way out to center right. Ricky Lee drops it back for Gordie Howe. Howe puts it over right onto the stick of Ralph Backstrom. Backstrom fighting for it inside the Soviet zone. Here it is with Backstrom again, and he is hit there by Zigankov. Round the boards once more. The Canadians try to apply a little pressure. That's Mark Howe putting it out in front, and nobody there. A long pass to Lebedev. Lebedev with Yakishev. He's in front with Shadrin. And he gets one. The shot goes wide of the goalpost. It's loose and finally cleared down the ice. Soviets are now, with that 2-goal lead, they're starting to set the people out in front. That is to say, breakaway men up at center ice. Harlov opened on the first rush of the game from Harlamov to make it 1-0 for the Soviet Union.
And number 15 around the Canadian defense, certainly they're just flying, and they're that pinpoint passing and the threat of passing and forcing Team Canada members to get out of position, and the Russians are taking every advantage.
Now for Team Canada, yes, Rosie Houle passing it, but it hit a leg and never got through. Now Mark Cardiff falls, gets back up, the play is in front, here it is, getting set, goes Cardiff. Cardiff in front, they shoot, oh, and touchdown! Cromwell made a sensational save. And with the score of the Soviets 2, Canada nothing, this is game 6 from Moscow.
Come on, Larry, let's get the show on the road. We've been all over the place. What kind of affairs are going to be without the O'Keefe caravan? This is their dressing room, office, PA system.
Okay, wise guy. You find it.
Turn left here. Sorry. Guess we should have turned right. The O'Keefe caravan will go to any community event, if you'll tell us how to get there. Just give us a call at Sport O'Keefe.
Jordan has to be helped to the players' box. He scored 4 goals so far for the Soviet Union, including 2 in the opening game here the other night. Now it's Cardiff at center. The draw comes back to the blue line. They fire it in. The Canadians are keeping it in there. It's Cardiff right in front, and Houle reached for the puck. It was in the air, and he couldn't touch it. Here's Houle again, trying to get it with a backhander. Back to the blue line to Howe. And the Soviets come racing out with Viktorov over to Anisin, and the pass is too far. Here's Bernier. Knocks the puck forward. They ruled that he touched it over his head, but it didn't appear to be anywhere near over his shoulder.
Watch this play coming up here for the 3rd time this period. Serge Bernier has a heck of a chance and just can't get it up. There's a good check. Got us the loose puck. Now watch this great pass by JC. All he had to do was get it up. Trenchard come across, one bad top, the other made the save.
Jack has been tested ever since the first 4 or 5 minutes of this first period. He said to make some tough saves to keep that 2-0 lead for the Soviet Union. Now the play. Back out to the Soviet line. A long pass to Harlamov. Harlamov fakes a shot. Oh, he pulls. A great shot after faking it. Now it's back to the side of the net, and it's taken by Mahavlich. Mahavlich down the left wing. A rink-wide pass over to Bruce McGregor. McGregor shoots. A great save there by Trutchak, and it bounces wide. Looking for somebody. Here's McSmith. He shoots. And it's deflected wide of the goal by Mahavlich. Back to the blue line again to Paul Smear. And that's knocked down as the Canadians are roaming all over the Soviet zone. Smear going in. His pass to the side of the net. Taken back, and it's intercepted. Back comes Mikhailov, number 13. Dumps it out in front to Petrov. Back over to the left wing as it hit a stick and bounced free. This is Petrov. Hit in there by Mahavlich. And the Soviets have it inside the Canadian zone. But the pass comes out to center right. 2-0. Soviets over Canada in game 6. Petkoff. Number 16 circling forward to his defenseman, Gusev. Gusev with a long shot. Turned aside easily by Jerry Cheevers. And Paul Spear takes it back of his own net for Johnny McKenzie, but he puts it onto the stick of Shadrin. Shadrin gets a second shot. And Cheevers has to kick that one out. The Canadians playing it a little bit loose back there and almost getting trapped. Back out to the blue line to Vasiliev. Vasiliev shoots. That's loose in front of the net as Shadrin was waiting for the rebound.
Got another real dandy going here. Now watch. Gets out to the Russian who lets the screen shot go. Cheevers makes the big save and pounces on the puck. Both goaltenders are coming up with just great performances from that Tretiak as the corner rob this line, Johnny.
Well, he is, everybody knows, sensational. They found out in 72 how good he really was. He had to make some tough saves in the first game here, but he's had to make some miraculous stops here.
Frank Mahavlich had a great opportunity to get us on the score sheet, but he just popped it right by the goal. He just tossed that puck around once too often. And the Russians broke it up and come out of their own zone.
Shadman in for the face-off with Andre Lacroix. Lacroix got the draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, the picture troubles that you're experiencing right now are due to satellite problems between Moscow and London. Do not adjust your set. These problems aren't likely to be temporary. It's likely to be like this for most of the afternoon. Just reviewing. The picture problems that you're experiencing are due to satellite problems between Moscow and London. Do not adjust your set.
Whack at him with the stick as he went by. Now it's inside the Canadian zone as Lacroix back of the net. With McKenzie on the wing. Looking for Bobby Hull, but he's back to the blue line. There's Hull at center ice. Hull going in over that Soviet blue line, getting set for his shot. He drills it. It's loose in front of the net. And Tretiak has to come out to make the save again as Andre Lacroix was standing there looking for the rebound. It's been a pretty good combination with Lacroix at center for Bobby Hull, because Hull says, I want to wind up and I want somebody to throw it to me. I need a right winger who's going to fight for it in the corner, and that's Johnny McKenzie. So it's been a pretty effective unit.
The Russians, though, are flooding the front of the net. They haven't been able to hit Howe with the consistency they'd like to.
Out from the face-off, it's taken by Ralph Backstrom. Takes the drop pass. Gordie Howe tried to tip it, and he is hit. There's Gordie Howe going into the corner with Buren. Backstrom in the corner to Howe, and Howe is hit from behind again. Puck is still inside the zone, getting set, right out in front. A backhand shot is off the pad of the goalkeeper, Tretiak, but he was able to fall on it and hold on as Mark Howe had a great opportunity. Gordie is taking 2 or 3 good shots out there, and he's getting a little ruffled. From the face-off, the shot goes wide of the Soviet net. Back in the corner after it goes Mark Howe, number 11, out in front. Bounces across the open goal mouth. Now is J.C. Trombley in the corner, tied up by Kapustin. Kapustin holds it against the boards for the whistle. Here he's open with that 3-3 tie in Quebec City. Canada bounced back 4-1 in Toronto. Russians then 8-5 in Winnipeg. Canada blew a 2-goal lead to wind up with a 5-5 tie at Vancouver. And the Soviets won the opening game here 3-2, and that round of applause is for the great player, Alexander Maltsev. Shot is well wide of the net from the point, but the Soviets, led by Maltsev, now bring it out to center. It's picked off. Here goes Trombley. Trombley to Backstrom, looking for somebody to pass it to. He bounces it in front of the net. And Mark Howe was off balance. There's Gordie Howe running underneath him. Here's a shot from the side and off the glove of the goalkeeper, Tretiak. It's back of the net to Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe waits. Which way is he going to come out with it? They've got Backstrom tied up. They jam at it. And Tretiak holds it against the post. And with the score, the Soviets 2, Canada nothing. This is Game 6 for Moscow.
Нас Это банк, где люди составляют разницу.
You can sort of sense this coming. Bernier just missed his shot. Great save by Trichet, and there you see back to the point. Team Canada has not quit. They're keeping the pressure on the Russians, doing more forechecking. He's back to the point here, and there's the shot. Got it teed up, and away it goes, and it's tipped in between the legs. Back in the ball game. This has just been a tremendous first period of hockey here in Moscow.
Well, the referee gave us the signal for a timeout, and then he promptly began the play, and so there was unfortunately nothing we could do about it. Here we have a puck loose inside the Canadian zone. It's being brought out now by Houle. Houle with Bernier over to Houle.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have lost sound again somewhere between Moscow and London. We ask you to please stand by. We're trying to rectify the problem, and we'll continue with the video portion of the program.
Zone. We had broken up the Russian attack, and then Rick Smith took the penalty, and this type of penalty is going to hurt you in the long run. And it's going to tire out that number 12, who's just been a tower of defense, on defense all through the series. That's Pat Stapleton.
So Mark Tardif goes off for the misconduct penalty. Rick Smith is in for a 2-minute penalty. And we're having audio problems is the indication we get, but so far it's back again. And we can tell you that the penalty, in case you missed it, was cross-checking to Rick Smith.
Goal 2-1. Vasiliev coming in over the blue line, and it's tapped away by Tremblay to center ice. He feeds it back to Mikhailov in his own zone. He just spread it over on an open wing. McGregor slashes it back to Tremblay near the Canadian blue line. For Stapleton, they kill some seconds ahead to Henderson. Henderson coming up, back in his own zone for Tremblay. Harlamov going in to watch Tremblay in front of the net. Tremblay fooled him, went around the goal again. Out to Stapleton, and down the ice it goes near the Russian blue line. Gusev, the pass up on the left wing, Harlamov winding up. He gets across center. Harlamov had a stick lifted by McGregor. McGregor got a stick across the shoulder, but Henderson carries on. Henderson, pass it back into Stapleton. Stapleton out to Markow. Markow down to Henderson. Henderson up for a shot. He didn't get it away. Now he tries to pull his way through. He's upended in the corner. The play goes right on. Vasiliev upending Henderson. The Canadian fans wanted a penalty. but no penalty coming. The Russians, a man advantage. Vikulov cutting for the net. Mark Howe after him. Vikulov gets away from Howe. Vikulov still has it. Over on this side. Petrov had his shot blocked. And it's tipped away by Tremblay. And now the Canadians hold it in their own zone. Henderson getting a whistle as he wants to get off, no doubt, for a change. And a face-off coming up in the Canadian zone to the right. Face-off to the right of Cheevers. 2-1 is the score. Russia leading. Shadreen with Yakushev and Vikulov. Luchenko and Sigankov, the two defensemen. Stapleton going over to the penalty bench. Bob Troy as Coach Billy Harris fight to keep Stapleton and J.C. split for this game with other pairing. Trouble because these penalties have forced them to use this duo.
Shadman in for the face-off, gets the draw, back to the blue line, but it comes out. Now it's taken by Yakushev. Over there on the right side to Wikulov. Wikulov 18 in the corner, bumped in there by Whitey Stapleton. Goes around to Yakushev, number 15. Yakushev gets the little bouncing shot in front of the net, and Shadron takes the rebound. Shadron trying to get set. Back in front, it's knocked down by J.C. Trombley, and he fires it to center. Trombley and Stapleton have been just sensational throughout this series. Here comes Wikulov trying to get through. Rick Smith is back on the ice, and he fires it up into the crowd. Is over at this end, but we just now have word that apparently our line was crossed to the CBC radio line, and now we go back to Bobby Hall, winding up at his own blue line. With LaCroix moving over on the wing. Here's a drop pass for Schmier. Now they race into the corner. Paul Schmier trying to put it out in front for Johnny McKenzie, but he couldn't get it. Back at the blue line, Lebedev with Shadrin, two men back, looking for that drop pass, and Yakushev is right out there in front. They bang at the loose puck. Paul Schmier clears to center. It's taken back over here by number 21, Shadalov, and it's over to Bobby Hull. Hull ahead to LaCroix. LaCroix back over to Schmier. They got that passing combination going, trying to get Hull set up for his shot, but they're called offside at the Soviet blue line. Seconds left in this penalty. The clocks are partly covered by the overhanging rafters here. We have to glance on these, and we were just guessing at the time. But it appears to be 21 seconds left in the first period, with the Soviets leading Canada 2-1. And Easton on the face-off. Number 22 feeds it up on the right side to Vikulov inside the Canadian zone. Has it knocked off of his stick. Then he puts it back out to the blue line. It's offside. Clock shows 8.5 seconds left. The referee, Billy Harris, really exploded down there. The referee was going to let that call go. I couldn't believe it. The puck was a good foot outside the blue line. And finally, one of the linesmen came over and called it. And now, they're bringing the face-off back into the Soviet zone to the left. Well, that can happen when you're a man short and you touch the puck over your shoulder in the opposing zone, unless they call it the intentional offside, and that's what they've done. Now the puck comes back out to Paul Schmier. Schmier is hooked. The puck slides down into Soviet territory as the buzzer sounds to end the first period. It's been a wild and woolly first period. First period where we've encountered several technical difficulties on our transmission to Canada. What happened, it was Mihailov opened the scoring on the first rush of the game. Then Marty Howe took an elbowing penalty. Vasiliev on a great play went in to beat the goalkeeper Jerry Cheevers on a little backhand shot up above him. Paul Schmier then drilled one from the blue line to make it a 2-1 hockey game, and that's the way it stands at the end of this first period. So with the score, the Soviets 2 and Canada 1, this is Game 6 from Moscow.